Hello everyone, and welcome back to Ascended Masters 101, where we talk all about the teachings of the Ascended Masters. In this video, I want to talk to you about the second requirement for making your ascension, which is to align your four lower bodies. If you'd like to watch part 1 and learn what the four lower bodies are, watch this video, and if the ascension is a new concept to you, watch this video. I'll put links to both of those videos in the description below as well. So requirement number 1 was to balance your threefold flame. Requirement number 2 is to align your four lower bodies. And I really like this requirement because it is really obvious in terms of what you need to do to meet this requirement. Plus, many people from all different world religions have pioneered this concept as well, so there's lots of support. So in part 1, we talked about what the four lower bodies are and why they need to be controlled and purified. So now let's talk about how to do so. Fortunately, the Ascended Masters have given us a lot of tools for doing so. First of all, I want to mention the violet flame, which is part of a very powerful form of spoken prayer called the science of the spoken word, which the Ascended Masters teach us all about. You can use the violet flame to transform the imperfect energies of your being into positive energies. To learn more and to use the violet flame right away, check out the video called The Violet Flame Explained. A second tip is from the Ascended Master Zarathustra, who has given us a huge gift in the form of his prayer, which we can give at any time. It's called O Mighty Threefold Flame of Life. Here's what Zarathustra says about it. Quote, "This mantra, beloved, will calm my electronic presence around you. It is not short because, whilst you are giving it, I am realigning your chakras, assisting you to balance the threefold flame at all cost, and to bring God control to every aspect of your life," end quote. That's from Pearls of Wisdom, volume 35, number 36. So that's an incredible gift. With one prayer, you receive the personal assistance from Zarathustra in not only realigning your chakras, but also balancing your threefold flame, which is also a requirement for the ascension, and bringing God control to every aspect of your life. We just heard from Maitreya that we must hold our four lower bodies in God control. Now, even though Zarathustra doesn't specifically spell it out, I would certainly consider my four lower bodies to be one of the aspects of my life. Based on this quote, you can give the following prayer or any version of it you choose before giving the mantra. You can say, I call for Zarathustra and his electronic presence to realign my chakras, assist me to balance my threefold flame at all cost, and to bring God control to every aspect of my life, including my four lower bodies, end quote. I have friends who give this particular mantra multiple times every day, specifically because it helps so much with these two requirements for the ascension. I'll post a link below to a YouTube video that has the audio and the words to this mantra so you can try it out for yourself. So the third and last tool that I want to talk about is self-observation. The Ascended Master Saint Germain said, quote, as Buddha taught, the key to self-mastery is self-observation. That's from Pearls of Wisdom, volume 39, number 30. So this tool of self-observation is really effective in changing the habit patterns that created the negative karma in the first place. Basically, self-observation is just taking an earnest look at ourselves, at our thoughts, our feelings, our words, our actions, and our psychology, and seeing where we can improve. And then when we know where we can improve, we can do the work of bit by bit replacing the less desirable parts of ourselves with their more Christ-like counterparts. Basically, this tool helps us to first identify and then pull the weeds in the garden of our being. Remembering to observe yourself throughout the day can be hard, especially when you have a job and kiddos and all sorts of responsibilities. What has worked for me is to set random timers on my phone throughout the day to quickly check in on myself and see how I'm doing on a particular point. So say you're observing your feelings, your emotional body. Whenever the timer goes off, you take a minute to check in with yourself and see what the state of your emotional world is. Are your feelings calm and peaceful, or are you feeling irritated or depressed or listless? Take note of your observations so you can start to identify your main weeds. Then, lovingly bring your feeling world back to a point of peace. You could also wear a bracelet or a ring or something that reminds you every time you see it to bring your energies back to that point of equanimity. You are in control. Now, this is hard. This is like a spiritual workout. The Ascended Master Lord Lanto actually comments on this. He says, self-control, that is control of the emotions and the feeling world, is one of the keys to self-mastery which some of our disciples find difficult to employ, end quote. That's Pearls of Wisdom, Volume 12, number 29. So training your emotional body takes practice and it isn't easy, but you absolutely can train yourself to remain in a positive emotional state. And of course, this spiritual workout goes for your thoughts, words, and actions as well. You can watch yourself carefully in any of your four lower bodies, and as soon as a negative emotion or thought or word or action enters your awareness, immediately discard it and don't let it grow into something bigger. As Mark Prophet said, you can't help if a bird lands on your head, but you can keep it from building a nest there. So a negative thought may pop into your head and you can either let it go or you can focus on it and magnify it and expound upon it until it becomes this huge thing that you're now all riled up about. That's letting the bird build a nest that perhaps ought not to be there. Now, I do want to add that when you see repetitive problems in your life, deep-seated issues that are really hard to get rid of, putting some attention to your psychology might be important and necessary to do. Working on resolving our psychology to fix those deep-seated issues is a major key to making spiritual progress. There's an exceptional tool called the Cosmic Clock that outlines the major pitfalls to overcome, as well as virtues to espouse on the path to the ascension. I feel like it really helps me frame my efforts at self-improvement and keeps me from getting overwhelmed. This tool was given to us by the Ascended Master Mother Mary, and it's a must if you're serious about making your ascension. So, mastering yourself is a huge cornerstone of the teachings of the Ascended Masters and of your spiritual progress towards your ascension. Accomplishing this is a big deal. Lao Tzu said, "He who controls others may be powerful, but he who has mastered himself is mightier still," end quote. So, getting a grip on this is a huge accomplishment. So, switching gears here, let's talk about how to align our four lower bodies. The Ascended Masters explain that you can think of these four vehicles as four colanders or drums, one inside of the other. The etheric body is the largest. Inside that is the mental body, then the emotional body, and finally the physical body. That's from TSL Encyclopedia. Now, light from God is supposed to flow through a dot pattern that is perforated upon the fabric of each of man's bodies. The light can only shine brilliantly and steadfastly when the perforations are in perfect alignment, which is when the holes of the four colanders are directly opposite each other. When the holes of the colanders are completely out of alignment, the light can at best only seep through. The person who has this becomes sluggish and inefficient. For this video, I found that the dot pattern of each body is different, and the dot pattern for each person is different because everyone has a unique divine blueprint. So this is an equation that seems to be unique to each person. Now, this was really interesting, but I wanted to learn more about how to align your four lower bodies. On a practical level, how do you line up the holes in the colanders? I honestly couldn't find much, so I reached out to a dear friend of mine and one of the ministers in our church, Carla G., to see what she had discovered. She is a longtime student of the Ascended Masters and has been head of Summit University for many years. So she told me that she had wanted to understand this ascension requirement better herself, and that she had found the best original explanation in Theosophy. This is her distillation from connecting their teachings with ours. She said, quote, "They, Dwalkul actually, explain that each of the four lower bodies has 7 layers of energy and vibration, from coarse or dense to fine, and that part of our spiritual development is to bring the vibration of each body up to the same point or level. For instance, if we are at level 2 in our emotional body and level 4 in our mental body, the bodies are not properly aligned and the light of our presence can't flow through unobstructed. So a person with this profile would want to work specifically on the emotional body and increase its vibration until it lines up with that of the mental body. Same for the other bodies. Then, when all four are vibrating at the same level, the law of correspondence kicks in and light can easily flow through the bodies, end quote. Carla has explained this in simple terms to Summit University students, such as bring each body up to the same vibration or level of purity so the light can flow through. And that has made sense to people. So thank you, Carla, for that explanation. So to summarize, we know that our four lower bodies surround our soul and are our four vehicles for operating in time and space. We know that we need to improve and purify our four lower bodies through prayers, self-observation, and working out our psychology. And we know that in order to ascend, we need to align the holes of the colanders of these bodies by bringing the vibration of each of these bodies up to the same level so God's light can shine through us unobstructed. I want to end with some thoughts from the Ascended Master Jesus on how you can know when your four lower bodies are balanced. In Pearls of Wisdom, volume 33, number 18, he says, quote, "Joy is the sign of inner resolution and balance, of four lower bodies at peace in the service of God," end quote. So God bless you, and thank you to Kumara Creations for underwriting this channel. You can find us at kumaracreations.com for products and apps that help you in your journey with the Ascended Masters. You can find the full transcript of this episode and all the episodes on ascendedmasters101.com. So now I'm really curious to hear from you. Do you have a practice that you use to keep your thoughts and emotions in balance? I think we can all really benefit from this one, since hearing from each other's shared perspectives and experiences can really help share that knowledge around in a really valuable way. So if you find this helpful in your life, please click the subscribe button below. Thank you to Kumara Creations for underwriting this channel. God bless each of you, and until the next time.